Alright everybody, it's Ethan and today we're back with another tier list video. Today we're going to be talking about female copes. Now these are copes that females or women or girls, whatever you call it, will tell a man or, an opposite gender, but basically anybody that, they're talking with. These are the things that they're going to tell them in terms of how copious they are, right? In terms of, if they're really cope or there's, maybe some hope for you, right? So things like he's only a friend, I love watching football, looks don't matter, I'm fine, all this stuff, right? I'm just going to rank them based on how females use these terms, right? Do they use it to hide their feelings? Do they use it, or do they use it to actually tell you that they're being genuine, right? So yeah, no face cam video today, because my camera is broken, so unfortunately. But let's just get round to it, right? So I did a male cope for this one. I did a male version for this one. Now I'm gonna do a female one, so I can give my channel a wee bit of a balance. So let's start with the first one. He's only a friend. Kinda cope. Now, I say kind of cope because there are the slim chances where a girl could be friends with someone who's a male who is gay or is in a really really deep relationship with another girl or is in like a deep gay relationship, right? But if she is a friend, if she has a male friend that mogs you, right? Or not even mogs you, right? Not sounds really cringy, but if she has a male friend that is outgoing, he has similar likings to you, right? For example, if you're an Asian guy and he's an Asian guy or like whatever, right? If you know that this so-called friend of hers is her type, is the type of guy that she would go for, then I'm sorry, he is not a friend, right? It is very cope. It would be holy cope fuel, but the reason why I'm putting it on kind of cope is because there are times, again, if he is gay, if he is in a deep relationship with another girl, maybe he's a friend, right? Maybe. But if the guy is her type and he low-key kind of mogs, no, it's cope. He's not a friend, bro. He is not a friend. She's keeping him as a backup option. It's completely cope. Okay. I love watching football. This is going on cope, right? No offense, in my opinion, I've never met a girl that is a huge fan of football, right? Even in the UK, right? In the UK is like literally like the biggest country for like football fans and stuff, right? You got the England team, the Premier League and stuff, right? But I've never met a girl that is actually like into football in this country, right? The only reason why a girl would say to you, "Oh, I love watching football. I love watching the World Cup," right? Is because she loves watching the World Cup right now because of Jude Bellingham, Lucas Bergsville or something, Haaland, and Hal Felix. That's the reason why she's watching the World Cup. Whenever she sees Jude Bellingham scores or Hal Felix scores, right, she gets absolutely wet and starts screaming her lungs out and saying that, "Oh my God, Jude Bellingham just scored! He just scored 2-0 against Norway!" Yeah, like she doesn't like watching football. She likes watching football because she has crushes on male celebrities, right? And in my opinion, if you're talking to these type of women, right, it depends on your standards. But for me, I wouldn't like a woman with celebrity crushes, personally, or specifically watching football because their celebrity crush Jude Bellingham is playing, right? That's just, especially if you take. I remember seeing a video on TikTok where like a girl takes his, I think, husband or boyfriend, yeah, husband, to the bar, and then she sees Jude Bellingham score, and the caption. I'll put the video up right here. The caption was like, "Me watching my husband play while sitting next to my husband," or something like me watching my future husband. Like it's just something like that, right? And I just think that it's super funny that women. Like, I'm not saying it's wrong, right? I'm not saying that women watching the World Cup because their celebrity crush Jude Bellingham is playing. I'm not saying that's wrong, right? But stop saying that you're a fan of football. Heard some women nowadays saying, like now especially because of the World Cup, saying that they're big fans of football and they're larping how much of a football fan they are. That they're a loyal England fan or something. That they're a loyal Portugal fan because of their celebrity. Like, come on, Come on, guy. You can't just say that because you watch like two games of your crush playing. Like, come on. So yeah, it's going coke tier. Looks don't matter. This is ongoing. Holy cope fuel. Now, actually, I'm gonna put this on high tier cope, not holy cope fuel, because I think that looks do matter. Looks absolutely matters nowadays, especially in this dating economy. Attention is a currency. I think that attention is more of a abundant currency than money itself. Okay, it's much more valuable than money itself because with looks, with modeling and stuff, with monetize, with the idea of looks maxing and all this stuff, you can actually monetize this, and this attention allows you to create money, right? So I think that we live in such a objectified, subjective, and looks centered economy nowadays. In this, whatever you want to call it, this Generation Z, this Gen Z generation, that it's just cope when someone says looks don't matter. Looks do matter, right? I mean, if looks didn't matter, you wouldn't be reposting, your celebrity crushes. You wouldn't repost like flipping, I don't know, Tom Welling. I wouldn't see prime Tom Welling in your reposts if looks didn't matter, right? Sorry, my throat's getting a bit dry, but yeah, it's cope. Looks do matter. Now, when it comes to dating, right? Looks don't matter at all. No, sorry, looks do matter, but looks don't matter to an extent where it carries you throughout your dating history. Looks matter. Looks get your foot through the door, right? There's something called, I think, the angel effect or the halo effect, right? The halo effect basically means that whenever you look attractive or tall, or you have a good frame, you're positioned well in life, whenever you have good looks, that people just perceive you in a higher like hierarchy, right? They perceive you to be more trustworthy, they give you more respect, and unfortunately all that is to do with looks. So looks do matter, and someone saying, a girl or anybody saying that looks don't matter, is coping, because they're more likely to trust somebody who looks better, because it's just biology, right? We trust people that have their hygiene right, they look good, and we're more inclined to think that they're more respectful, that they're more trustworthy. It's just biological nature, it's just primal, and anybody that says it doesn't matter is just coping. And maybe they're meaning like looks don't matter in like a dating term or like a long-term relationship, which, to be fair, that is kind of true, right? Personality does carry, right? Even if you are, I don't know, if you are like really ugly, if you are like, below like a 3 out of 10, right? Then at that point, looks, the looks factor in a long-term dating relationship, when your personality carries you throughout that dating relationship, then I guess looks can the looks variable, you know can fall off, because obviously you take care of this woman, etc, 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 right? But in terms of like attraction, and so-called he has a nice personality, or you, or having a female, or having a friend or something, right? And you're saying, oh, looks don't matter, it's completely cope, right? Looks do matter, okay? In this generation especially, I'm fine. Holy cope fuel. When a girl says they're fine, it's just simple, they are not fine. They are only saying they're fine because they want you to actually know what your problem is, right? When a girl says they're fine, you just don't leave that girl alone and thinking, right? The reason why she says she's fine is because she wants you to figure out what's wrong, right? She wants you to figure out what you did wrong, and etc, 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 right? She doesn't she wants you to hold accountability, and as a guy, you have to hold accountability to these girls. But if she keeps saying, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine afterwards, especially after you tried your best to admit what was wrong and stuff around, then it gets to a point where you need to like exclude yourself from her, because that's called an avoidant attachment. Whenever she refuses to talk about what's wrong, she tries to diverge the conversation. She doesn't actually tell you that, yep, you know what, you're right about me acting this way, and I wasn't fine because it was all your. And it says she doesn't actually help solve the situation after she says I'm fine, and you try to admit that you're wrong. Then try to exclude yourself from this girl, because she has an avoidant attachment personality, And yeah, so any girl that says I'm fine is coping. She actually wants you to figure out, and it sometimes is a good thing, right? Sometimes it's a good thing because a lot of us guys need to hold more accountability. A lot of us women need to hold accountability as well. Usually, when a guy says I'm fine as well, they're not fine. It's the same goes both ways, right? So yeah, it's holy cope fuel. I'm not ready for a relationship. I think that this is going on high tier kind of cope, right? When a girl says that I'm not ready for a relationship, they're trying to say I'm not ready for a relationship for you. Okay? If you find a girl online on Hinge or whatever, right? And like on Hinge, right? Why are you on Hinge whenever you're looking for a relationship and you say to me that you're not ready for a relationship? It's kind of cope, right? It doesn't add up. It's so much contradiction. So when you're talking to a girl, right, and you both literally know in your head that you're both in a talking stage, and then she says to you, "I'm not ready for a relationship. I want to be single for a bit." She's saying that because she's not in a relation. She's not ready for a relationship for you. Right? You must understand that a lot of women nowadays are emotionally intelligent, right? What do I mean by that? Is they don't lie, right? A lot of women nowadays will tell you something called trickle truths or temporary truths. They will tell you truths that won't lead to the big one. That will lead to the big one, right? They will tell you breadcrumb truths before leading to the big truth, right? So whenever she says, I'm not ready for a relationship, she's missing the two key words with you. Whenever she says, I'm not, yeah, so yeah, whenever she says, I'm not ready for a relationship, she's basically saying, I'm not ready for a relationship with you because you are not the type of person I'm looking for. And yeah, it's kind of cope. And she's maybe have backup options or she's speaking to another person, and yeah, she's just not ready for a relationship on you. Otherwise, if she wasn't otherwise if she, wasn't ready to find a new relationship, she wouldn't be spending somewhat of her precious time texting you, right? Because a lot of women nowadays are on the phone. They're on the phone 24/7. They will give some sort of attention to you. So if she's giving you some sort of attention to even talk to you, and she says to you, "I'm not ready for a relationship," she's just trying to say to you that she's not ready to be with you, or she doesn't find you attractive or whatever. Okay, so it's kind of cope whenever they're saying they're not ready for a relationship. You're insecure, right? This is going on holy cope. I don't get why some people say that you're insecure. Um, like they think that being insecure is a bad thing when it comes to relationships, right? If you're insecure of your own body, right, I can get it, right? Whenever you say you're insecure, I'm insecure of my, like, I don't know, my abs, my biceps, whatever. I'm insecure of my, whatever, then I can kind of get it. But if we're talking about in like talking stage terms with a girl, or we're talking about like dating wise, and the girl says that, oh, you're just insecure because I have male friends, you're just insecure because of the way I dress, right? That's not insecure. That is somewhat insecurity, yes, but they're insecure for the right reasons because they have a boundary that they want you to meet, right? Whenever you don't meet a guy's boundary, or same thing with girls, whenever you don't meet a person's boundary or standard that they were originally looking for at the start of like a relationship or a talking stage, then unfortunately, right, that relationship would have never began with. Because now you're just revealing to yourself, to that person, that you're not able to make that standard or boundary. And then whenever you throw the word, oh, you're just insecure, then, like, bro, I have a right to be insecure. Otherwise, I wouldn't be in a relationship with you because you just broke a standard. You just broke a boundary. Why? How on earth can I not have a say about you wearing dental floss and barely revealing yourself whenever you're going to a concert? How can I not have a say about you going to a male-dominated environment, aka the club, wearing something like that? Like a dental floss off it. Like, how can I not be insecure about that, right? I have a right to be insecure because that is my standard, that is my boundary. Okay? I don't want you to be dressing like that because it shows that I care, right? It doesn't show that I'm controlling. It shows that I care. Because if I was controlling, right, and then you were out wearing some, outfit that I didn't agree on, or if you're going to the club, right, I'm gonna tell you that I'm not okay with you going to the club, right? Then me being controlling would be forcing you to stay in, or like physically holding you to stay in the house, right? If I'm not okay with you, if this goes with my girls as well. This goes with guys both. Okay, if you're not okay or comfortable with your partner doing something that you're so-called insecure about, just don't force it. Just leave them, or try to leave that toxic. That's gonna turn into a toxic relationship. Leave them. Talk to them about it. Communicate. Don't force them to stay. Don't control them. Okay, just be like, yep, we're finished. Because you broke a standard, you broke a boundary, and you called me insecure about it, and you're not willing to listen to me, so I'm just gonna leave. That's not controlling. That's called setting up a standard, and that's called, so that's just called respect. Okay, that's called respect on both sides. So whenever a girl says that you're insecure, right, it's just cope to like to what's the word, it's just cope to make you sound like you're a bitch, that you're a pussy, and that everything's gonna be all right, and like it's just trying to so-called reassure you, but it's just not reassuring you. Let's just be for real. I need to work on myself. This one is going on 50-50. No, it depends on the type of person or woman you're talking to, right? If you find that, you know, if you were in a deep relationship with this girl, and, everything was going well and stuff, right? And then she had a glow up after you guys broke up. She had a really good glow up, and she starts to become this good girl. Then yeah, she did work on herself. Fair play, right? She had a glow up. She did love you once, and you broke up with her. Maybe that's your L. I don't know. Maybe you moved on, but she has worked on herself, right? What is not okay is whenever some people take I need to work on myself as a way of opening up her options, opening her legs to many others in the club, and then act like that's her working on herself or healing herself on a journey, right? Looking for hookups on dating apps. I've met women that told me that they need to work on themselves and they're on a healing journey, but then I see like they're on hookup dating apps and stuff. Like it's fucking brutal, And I'm just like, oh my god, how is that working on yourself? Come on. Okay. Like, yeah, sure, you can be in talking stages, you can find the right person and then talk to them, right? But don't say that you're working on yourself if you're going out every night trying to plan to get drunk and sleep with different guys, and because you have free will and that you need to work on yourself and you're just out here looking for attention, right? It just reveals the type of person you are, and that reveals it reveals why your partner left you whenever you say you need to work on yourself, and it just reveals like who you are, right? So this one goes on 50-50 because there are some women out there that genuinely work on themselves, but there are some out there that just are on this so-called healing journey, but it's just not true. Okay, it was an accident, right? I got drunk and I accidentally kissed him, and I pretended, I pretended it was you, right? This is ongoing holy cope, right? It's never an accident. I don't know why this idea of I'm not I'm you know what I'm not I don't know why I included this, honestly. I'll be honest, right? I don't know why I included it was an accident. This one shouldn't be included in this tier list because I've actually never heard anybody or anyone or any woman say this. I never heard any woman actually say it was an accident because I don't know, but I've seen online that some women actually do say that, oh, it was an accident. I got drunk, and this led to another. Like, it's just cope. This is just absolutely cope fuel. It's not an accident, right? You're in control of your body. You're in control of how many drinks went down on you and went down on your throat during a nightclub. You're in control of the type of guy that you're with. It's not an accident. Like, it's just not an accident, right? I don't know what else to say. It's just not an accident. I was busy all day today. This one is going on kind of cope, right? Now, again, very subjective. If a girl tells you that she's going to be busy from 7 p.m. to 2 p.m. and she won't be able to text you, and she'll be able to text you afterwards, then fine. That is fine, right? But you must understand that we live in a world where it's very attention focused, right? People are on the phones 24/7. People are scrolling, people are reposting stuff on TikTok to make their TikTok repost personalities, to build up their TikTok repost personalities, you know. So whenever she says that I was busy all day today after she left you undelivered, then I don't know. I think it's kind of cope. She's just not interested in you, bro. It's just like I don't think that she's interested in you whenever she says I was busy all day today, because again, we just live in a heavy attention economy. We scroll too much on TikTok. We doom scroll too much. I mean, whenever a girl is on their lunch break, right? You don't expect a girl just to like relax and just, you know, just look up at the sky in peace, right? Maybe a guy could do that, but she's on her phone. She's on her phone. She's scrolling. Okay, I've seen a bunch of women do this. They're never not off their phone. Like they're always on their phone. Okay, they're always on their phone. She purposely ignored you because she didn't want to talk to you. Okay, so it's going on kind of cope. Men are trash. Cope, right? I don't know about this, but every female, I don't know about this, but every time. Next one is going to be men are trash. I don't know about this, but every girl that I said that the next one is going to be men are trash. I don't know about you guys, but every girl that I talk to that say men are trash or men are the problem in the society, they know more guys than me. I don't know why. Whenever, like, I'm not even joking. They actually have more male friends than I do. How can you say that men are the problem in this world, but then you have more male friends than me? It just doesn't make sense. And I'm not even guys. You might think I'm exaggerating whenever I say that. You know, like they know more that whenever a girl says this that they're no more male friends or no more male names than me, like I'm being serious. I'm not joking around, right? Like maybe I only have like what, I don't know, 10 close male friends and stuff, but even then, right, you still know more men than me. Like you still know more dudes than me whenever you say that men are the problem, men are trash and all this. And then it just goes to show that, no offense, you've been ran through by a bunch of men. Like you've been talking to too many men. You've had too many men shoved down your throat in terms of their opinions, and like you've just you've just been hoeing around. You've just been playing around with a bunch of men too much, and now you're blaming men. But then you know more men than me, right? It just doesn't make sense. So whenever a girl says men are trash, or men are this, men are the problem, or any just negative connotations or negative prejudice towards men, and they call themselves, oh, the men hater, the man hater is coming out inside of me. Like it's just her telling you that I've been through too many experiences with men, or I was treated so harshly or got played by a guy that now I am entitled to hate an entire sector of a gender. That's what basically they're saying, right? And it's entirely cope. It's cope. They're only saying this because they got treated bad, and now they're using this phrase as cope. Okay, so yeah. Now the final one that I'm gonna do is don't worry about him. Right. This one is kind of the same thing as he's only a friend, but this phrase specifically is going on cope. Right. Don't worry about him. Right. They're only saying that just to basically cope, to tell you that, you know stop having all this care and having all this emotional, you know emotional drama over this guy, because she's taking all the attention from him anyways, right? So whenever she says that, don't worry about him, she's basically kind of saying that she doesn't want you to be involved together with him. She doesn't want you to, talk to him or block him, or tell her to block him, or, you know, have any emotional worry about him, because she actually wants to keep him, right? Whether it's even a girl, or even when it's another girlfriend that you don't like, or when it's, you know, a guy that is her type or whatever, right? And she's like, "Oh, don't worry about him. He's only a friend. Don't worry about him. We met at work. Don't worry about him. He's yeah." Cope, absolute cope. Okay, this one is going on cope tier. Okay. All right, everybody. That's us done with this video. Unfortunately, there's no hope. This tier shouldn't even exist, honestly, because a lot of these are like kind of cope. No offense, but yeah. If you guys enjoy this video and you want more videos like this, then please like, subscribe, and share this video to anybody that you might think that might enjoy this video. I'm planning to make more of these videos in the future, but yeah, thank you guys for watching. Kaizen.